Let's see what we can get done if we start later in the evening. We're definitely going to have to pull a few nighttime streams in order to get the scorpions and the tarantula and whatnot. But I want to see if maybe doing a later in the evening stream might help us a little bit. Present. Color. Robo TV. I mean, we don't really need it. Stink bug. Why did I instantly know that was going to be the pitfall seed? But in my gut told me. I completely forgot to open chat on my phone. I'm a little out. I was too excited to sleep last night. I went and saw Jurassic World Rebirth today. Loved it. I thought it was a 10 out of 10. Oh, it was great. It's what, honestly, the Jurassic World trilogy should have been like, but what can you do? I'm not paying her to do my wallpaper and stuff. We can buy our own. Now, I talked about this in my Pokemon stream. I think it was my Pokemon stream. It may have been Animal Crossing. If it wasn't in the last episode of Animal Crossing, then it was in my latest Pokemon X episode. I was talking about screen resolution. And I've been looking through some of my older videos, and I was thinking about using one of those, you know, sketchy programs you get off the internet that downloads entire playlists at a time. That's going to re-download my entire YouTube catalog and see if I couldn't get it at a higher resolution. Because like I've always said, once I record something and it renders in the program for the final product, and it spits it out for YouTube, I upload that, then delete the hard copy because I just don't have the space. Cicada shell, hell yeah. But when I go to download it from YouTube, it's compressed, you know. But some of them look, the quality looks bad. But then I go and I look at the YouTube video, and it doesn't look too great on the YouTube video either. I didn't realize that the program I've been using all this time wasn't putting out. No, it wasn't always putting out at 1080p. Sometimes it put out at 10 or 720 or whatever it is. Live and learn, I suppose. Ooh. It's a honker of a moth. Yeah, I only tolerate people. Animals, in my opinion, can do no wrong. Humans, on the other hand, they know damn well what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They know they're trash. Hey, I'm trash, you're trash, all humans are trash. You're born trash. You garbage. You muff cabbage. You muff cabbage, as South Park says. No, it's the individual person can be decent and nice, I suppose, and do the right thing, but collectively. Tarantula! He bit me! No! We got bit. We got bit. Oh. Yeah, but I saw my movie today and it was really good. Kind of wish I had a better theater to see it in. I know that my screening was too dark. There were a couple of times where I really couldn't tell what was happening. It was the image was just too dark on the screen. Like the video clips I see of it on my phone and on my computer, like if the trailer for it, if I watch the trailer for it on YouTube, I can see it clear and plain as day, but watching it in the theater, it was really dark, hard to tell. Sometimes what I was looking at, but that's okay. The home release will be here soon enough. Yeah, I hate having to get up and I hate when I get up and ruin an animal's comfort. It's not great. Well, going to the gym is a pretty good reason to get up and go. I do miss going to the gym. The gym is fun. Wet. We just changed your catchphrase recently. No, you're sticking with that. I'm sorry. But I was debating all evening, yesterday evening, and then all night, and then all day, if I wanted to stream today or just kind of take a day. But I've gotten too lazy lately. So I decided to pop in and do a late Animal Crossing stream. I figured it'd be nice to kind of play later in the evening, after dark. We'd have a better chance at some of the insects that way. And it's nice just to change things up sometimes. I wouldn't mind streaming this time of the day always. My typical schedule over the years has always been to stream anywhere from like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon to around, maybe 3 or 4-ish. Sometimes 4 or 5, but I usually don't stream this time of the day. A lot of that back in the day was because my internet provider was such a shithead. Son of a bitch. I think the stink bug is... But no, ever since the very beginning, I've always wanted to start at like 5 o'clock in the evening, 6 o'clock in the evening, roll a couple hours and be done. But that's going to take some doing to get to that schedule. Like, I don't know what time I'll stream tomorrow. I got a family thing Friday. So I don't know if I'll stream it off Friday because I will be going out of town for that. Tomorrow's up in the air. I think tomorrow Tyler and I might do more Battletoads. But yeah, short and tall of it, I was looking through my episodes that I have saved on my hard drive, and I noticed that my hard drive is about to hit capacity. Now I have another hard drive, but it's an external. So I'm thinking about porting over everything that I have now onto the external and then putting it up into storage, or just, in my desk somewhere. And then I could just go back to, keeping the episodes on the hard drive. You guys probably don't care about any of this. It's just time to make a few changes on the back end. Like, I might start porting my videos to YouTube in 4K instead of 1080, just to assure that we get the highest return of quality possible. Now, sometimes there's nothing I can do. Let's see if I can give an example. Most emulators are good about upscalers, but sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you're just kind of up a creek without a paddle, so to speak. Like if you buy a game, like let's say you buy a really old game, like let's say you buy Sonic Adventure or Adventure 2 on Steam. Are those gonna display in modern day upscale graphics? Is it going to be a clear 1080p picture, or is it going to be like 480 or 360 or whatever? I don't know. And then some games from back in the day, like my childhood, we had the analog TVs. We had the damn it, why can't I think of what those TVs are called? The TVs. I'm having a massive brain fart. I still can't. It's not coming to me what those TVs are called. Two cicada shells. Okay. CRT TVs, I think they're called. Yeah, the CRTs. So, back in that era, resolution was pretty shoddy, pretty blurry. So sometimes, through no fault of my own, if we play a game, it might be blurry. But like I said, most emulators have come far enough to where they have filters and upscale, that kind of thing. Like even with Citra here, like I think they have upscaled. Let me take a look here. Emulation, configure, graphics. Okay. So I have it set to 1200 by 720. So that's decent. It's not through the roof great, but it looks decent for what we need it to do. Let me do 16 by 960 and see what happens. See, it didn't really change much for me. I don't know. I don't know. Should play it on 3 times speed. Well, I think most people would probably find that annoying. I hear the cicada IRL. But going forward, now that I know it's an issue on my channel, I'm going to try and make sure that my episodes are in the highest quality that I can do without making my PC, mit seppuku or whatever it's called. Kill itself. I'm just going to say kill itself. I'm so fucking sick and tired of this self-censoring because everybody's scared to say naughty words on YouTube. I'm afraid my computer will commit suicide if I try to do too much. That's right, I fucking said it. That's gotten so on my nerve. I'm so fucking over that censorship bullshit on YouTube. Play a shooter game at 3 times speed. Well, I could play a shooter game at regular speed, then speed it up in the video editor, but we wouldn't get anywhere if I tried to play it in real time at 3 times speed. We just die. Now that you've been working a little bit, you'll be able to save up money. Do you have any idea what you're going to do as far as a new computer is concerned? Like, there's nothing wrong with buying a pre-built, honestly. The next time I buy a computer, it's probably just going to be a pre-built. I think the days of like me, buying all the parts and putting one together myself, I think those days are over. I always had my buddy Tyler help me do that anyway. I don't know that I could do it by myself. I wouldn't know what to buy. But the good thing is, like, you can go to Best Buy or wherever and buy a cheaply, made pre-built or whatever, and then you can upgrade it, As long as you don't buy one of those crappy E-machines. Remember the E-machines from back in the day, everybody? The Heroes pants. I want the Samus pants, or the Samus, not Link's breeches. Let's take a look. Lord. Wait, where are the pants I was wearing? My legs. I look like such a goober. Oh yeah, I did see you post that the other day, and you were asking, I got exactly what you asked, but Tyler commented. I meant to go back and look at that. That's my bad. Yeah, YouTube is a big crybaby. Well, it's not so much YouTube as it is the fucking censors. We here at the Coca-Cola company don't like it when you use the word gun, or suicide, or murder, or binge eating, or eating disorder. Yeah, they don't like it when you talk about any of that. They don't like when you talk about health or mental health or, yeah. We got a brand to protect. We can't have you out here talking about suicide in front of our Coca-Cola commercial. Then don't fucking put your Coca-Cola commercial in front of my episode. How about them apples? I don't like Coke or drink Coke anyway. I'm a brand loyalist for 2 fucking brands on the planet. 2. And one of them I would drop in a hurry just to defend my morals and values that I believe in. Like, I love Dr. Pepper. Love Dr. Pepper. If they ever wanted to do a brand deal, if I ever got big enough, I'd love to do it. But I'm not going to, like, stop saying fuck or stop cussing or change a lot of what I do, to suck on the teat of Coca-Cola. Or whoever does Dr. Pepper these days. It used to be Coke and Pepsi. I don't know who I don't know who has the rights to it now. But the only exception to the rule would be if I got to do something Jurassic related, like through Universal, and it was official, I would critique my stuff just enough to do what they wanted me to do. You know what I mean? But that's the only exception to the rule. Other than that, I'm like Matt and Trey. I don't want to censor myself, just for the coin. Oh, she's introducing the machine, the sewing machine, which I want to say does QR codes. I gotta be honest with you. I really love QR codes. They make life really simple. Yeah, and see, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I actually implore that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Like, if I talk about suicide in my video a lot and YouTube puts a thing at the bottom telling people how they can get help and gives a number, I'm all for that. That's actually a good thing. The same with any other video. Like, I'm not against the YouTube tag at the bottom. I remember it was big during the COVID era. Anytime anybody even remotely mentioned COVID, pandemic, COVID-19, all of those words, the algorithm would hear it, flag it, and put an information thing at the bottom. That's actually a pretty good thing because there were a lot of people spreading a ton of misinformation across the internet. They still do, but I feel like it reached its zenith, its peak during the COVID era. But they're offering a load of money. It's not their money I want. They'd have to be offering something else. I'm hard to buy because I don't really give a shit about money. But like if I'm getting like free Jurassic Park stuff out of it, like merchandise, or if I get to be an extra in one of the movies, like that, on the other hand, I will sell out. Like, I will sell my soul down the river for that. Because once the promotion's over and we're past it, I could just get right back to my same old content. Now, even on my channel, I do pull back with my Jurassic World videos. That one playlist is like, I don't use the word fuck. I try to avoid unfamily friendly topics the best I can. My Jurassic World playlist is, I try to keep it as G or PG as I can. My vlogs, as far as I know, I try to do the same thing with my vlogs. I try to keep it somewhat decent and somewhat accessible to most everybody. I try to be a good boy. But my gaming content, I feel very strongly about just letting it fly. Because, you know, when you're playing a game, you're going to get mad at the game. And you're going to rage. And you're going to cuss. Oh, you're going to cuss. But I don't think I honestly ever had to worry about that. I told Tyler about this the other day, but somebody, and I don't know who it is, they keep subscribing on YouTube and unsubscribing, and they're doing it on Twitch as well. They'll give me a follow on Twitch, then unfollow, and they do it over the course of a week or two. And at first I thought it was just random. But then I started really thinking about it and overthinking it. And I was like, well, if it were people who were just naturally like, maybe they subscribed to one video and then realized they were never going to watch me again and they unsubscribed, that's fair and valid. But at that rate, if you use that logic, you're going to get 2 or 3 people unsubscribing and subscribing at a time. My channel never sees new subscribers. Ever. I had that real big boom. What was it, early this year or last year? That random James Bond video that I had went viral for some reason in India, not even an English speaking country. And my subscribers shot up from like 200 something to 800 something. But the thing is, I only ever get maybe 2 or 3 views per video anyway. So they're all dead subscribers who never came back to watch anything else. The thing is, I don't know who that one person is. It's got to be somebody that thinks that it'll drive me crazy, which, to be honest, at first it did, but now I'm kind of over it. And if it really is just kind of happenstance and random, okay, I guess. But I don't know. It seems fishy to me. Then again, I'm highly suspicious by nature. I always suspect somebody's up to shenanigans. Well, see, I really didn't want to do that, though. Like, I don't want to chase the subscribers. Like, I really didn't want to be that kind of content creator. Because there's already a billion of those on the internet. I think that's all that platforms like, you know, especially like, let's say TikTok and YouTube and Twitch, those three, and Instagram, I suppose, those platforms mainly see people who are like, I'm going to be an influencer. I'm going to upload this, and if it does well, I'm going to keep repeating the process, and then they'll keep making the same video over and over and over. Sometimes you do get people who are successful on YouTube and have a long storied career and make a wide variety of content, and those are the lucky ones. But no, I didn't want to do it that way. And like I said, they didn't watch the full playlist and watch all the videos. It was people who literally, in a non-English speaking territory, got recommended my video, probably misunderstood what a Let's Play was, thought that it was some sort of James Bond mini movie, watched that one video, and then never bothered to watch the other parts of it. Because my algorithm, or my analytics say that nobody really watched any of the rest of the series. Everybody just watched that first episode, and then nobody watched the rest of it. So I'm thinking that that's what it is. Now, the ship posts are a whole different story. The ship posts are an asterisk, you know, when it comes to what I'm talking about. People who ship post, that's a whole different thing. And I got no beef with that either. Like, I got no beef with the people who post stuff to be funny, people who are posting memes. I got no problem with that whatsoever. That's totally fine. But I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about. Like the people who they've made a handful of YouTube videos that didn't go anywhere and they didn't get any subscribers. And then one day they have a video that takes off and they're like, oh my God, this one video did great. Now I'm going to make 18 more like it. And then that just becomes their channel forever. I didn't want that to happen, so I didn't bother. But, I don't know. So the problem with YouTube is that there are too many content creators. YouTube has too many users. The same with Twitch, the same with TikTok, the same with Instagram. It's the Hollywood problem all over again. Back during the golden age, everybody flocked to Hollywood. I'm going to make it big. I'm going to be a star. I'm going to be big. I'm going to be a filmmaker. You sold all your stuff. You packed up everything when you lived on the East Coast. You bought a ticket and headed out west, and you got out there and realized the whole scene was an ugly mess, and Hollywood ate you up and spit you out, and you ended up destitute, living in a cardboard box behind the grocery store. That was the 20th century version of Hollywood. It's a tale as old as time. So many people made that mistake. The same thing happens today. It's just digital by nature. It happens on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok. People buy their little ring light. They buy their little webcam. They buy their little microphone. They put their little knickknacks behind them, and they come to YouTube, and they're like, hit that bell and that subscribe button and smash that like button and blah, 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 shock 'em bop. And they think they're going to blow up and do well on YouTube and make a bunch of coin or get famous. You're more likely to get hit by lightning. We're going to be honest with you. I implore you to, hey, everything I'm saying is obviously a personal preference on my behalf or on my half. Like, these are just my opinions. You get a video that goes viral and you think you can replicate it and stay, you know, at the top of your game, do it. That's the whole other thing. Like, I wouldn't see any creative value in it, but you'd be making money at least. It's just the reason I said what I said is because I don't think that's healthy for the platform. I don't think that's healthy for the content, you know. I'm just one person, one very opinionated person. You know, obviously I'm in the minority with my opinion. The majority of people like that kind of thing, you know. But it's gonna rain? Oh, I don't know if we can catch the tarantula in the rain. But I do know what we can catch in the rain and the water. I also happened to think the other day, the coelacanth may only appear after 4 p.m. in the rain and snow, and we kept trying to fish for it 4 p.m. And I feel like somebody came into my chat and told me that a long time ago, and I just forgot it because I'm scatterbrained. But bloop. This won't be, the coelacanth will have a very large shadow, but we can just do some casual fishing. Yeah, I feel like, you'll be right back. All right. Yeah, I feel like this day and age, oh, it's a new cat. I feel like promoting yourself doesn't work anymore because, oh no, it got away, son of a beach. Oh, I didn't know there was going to be a beetle down here. Oh, God damn it. I don't know. Scare away another beetle, aren't I? Can I have a big fish, please? I didn't even bother turning my ring light on. It didn't dawn on me it's going to get dark in here. But I'm streaming so late in the day. When I went to see the movie, they gave me this little place mat thingy. You just color the dinosaurs. And then there's like activities on the back. They also gave me this poster, which is really cool. I don't really hang up posters. I actually put like artwork on the wall, like framed pictures and stuff, but it's still neat. You know, neat. It was a damn fine movie. I kind of want to save all my opinion, talk about it when I'm doing like my next Jurassic World video, but it was a good day. It was a good video. I'm just tired. I kept tossing and turning and waking up. Like I kept waking up saying, "Is it time yet? Is it time yet?" Just a big kid. Do, 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 do. Yes! Snatched you bald-headed. Gotcha. I'm just catching all sorts of new stuff. Oh, you better believe I'm swamping it out. Damn it. Goodbye, cicada shell. Let's take this stuff back. Still can. Will our pockets get any more full than they already are? Let's go do the donation first. No, no, you cannot have what's in my pockets. They wait until your pockets are full and they're like, do 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 do. Hats on backwards. Do 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 do. Oh, I got a new follower over on the Instagrams. Good. I really want to grow my Instagram. I kind of somewhat regret getting rid of my original Instagram, but at the same time I don't, because it's even better the second go around, you know? Everything's a lot more curated. I usually just throw everything up there. Now it's a little more thoughtful. You can also see the evolution of my picture taking. Like if something were to happen tomorrow, I lose my YouTube for whatever reason, Instagram would become my next main platform where I put stuff. Okay. We donated that stuff. I'm gonna forget what we were talking about. You've been gone so long. Come back. Come back. Yeah, I used to, going back to what we were talking about, I used to do that too. I used to, you know, I used to advertise my YouTube channel and my Twitch and everything on Twitter and on Instagram and, you know, post links and clips and all sorts of, all manner of stuff. It just didn't work. Nobody cared. I guess one of the things that I learned the hard way is once people are on one platform, they're not really going to click a link to go to another one. They're not breaking their neck to leave Instagram, just go over to YouTube. If they're on Instagram, that means that's because they feel like being on Instagram and browsing. So, I don't know. People really gotta love, well, not love, but people really gotta like the streamer, the content creator, and I don't think I'm very likable. Because over the years, I've gotten a lot of people who come in and say, oh, I love Animal Crossing. I love Mario. I love Pokemon. I love whatever game I'm playing that day. I've gotten compliments on my beard. I've gotten compliments out the yin yang for this, that, and the other. Never fucking see them again. Ever. They came in for the one stream, paid a compliment, said hello, and then, boop, into the ether, they fucked off. But, I'll keep doing this. Just out of spite. Like at this point, I don't want to come off as crass and say that I'm just streaming out of spite, but at this point, a lot of it's for spite. I've been doing this for going on 8 years, and the universe is like, nah, fuck you. I'm gonna make sure you're not popular. Nobody likes you. Alright. I will die on stream, motherfucker. Try me, bitch. Ooh. Oh, I bet our bridge is finished. I almost forgot to go look at that. Yeah, we finished paying that bad boy off yesterday. Yesterday. I guess I just don't have a streamer personality. And I guess, like I said, it doesn't help that I don't chase the coin. You know. The streaming is a real son of a bitch to get into, you know. Yeah, our other bridge is finished. Check it out. You can see it on the map. There are too many streamers. This happened before. This isn't the first time this phenomenon has happened. The first time that I can think of in recorded history was when we evolved to a society where the masses could learn to read and write instead of just the clergymen and the ruling elites. When it became the norm for the general populace to be able to read and write, then everybody all of a sudden could write. Everybody was an author. Everybody was writing short stories and books. That was the first time I just remember it happening like I was there. That's the first time I'm aware of it happening. The second time would be when camcorders came out. Or cameras. Maybe it happened more times than I realized. So first would be literature. Everybody thought they were an author all of a sudden. Then cameras came out and everybody thought they were a photographer. Oh, look at me. I'm going to tilt and give it a Dutch angle and clip that picture of that tree over there. I'm a photographer. Then it happened again with camcorders. All of a sudden in the 80s, you had this huge wave of like consumer grade camcorders that you could buy. And at first they were these giant fucking bulky things that had to be connected via wires to a little satchel, little briefcase you would wear. It was very cumbersome and very much a nightmare. And then Sony saw that and said, fuck that. And they decided to release the camcorders that used beta cassette tapes and VHS cassette tapes. And then everybody who could afford to buy or even just rent one, people used to rent them out, would go and get them, and all of a sudden you'd see them toting it around and, oh, look at me, I'm a director, I make movies. Shot on shitio is the colloquial term that most people use when they're talking about that kind of thing. But everybody was a movie maker. Gonna make my own movies. And then everybody kind of thought they were DJs and disc jockeys when they were recording songs off the radio with cassette tapes. And then in the 90s, everybody was burning CDs. Like, remember LimeWire and Napster and all those programs? When people really started to get internet in their home, people were just torrenting like crazy and getting songs and burning them to CDs and making road trip remixes, and everybody thought they were suddenly radio hosts. Then the same thing happened with not vlogs, but the same thing happened with podcasts. There's a trillion, cajillion, bajillion podcasts in the world, and everybody thinks they're a podcaster. Everybody has a ton of opinions, and you just got to know about them right now. You know what I mean? So podcasts blew up and became a thing. So it kind of comes in waves. Every time there's this new technology that comes out, the general populace, latches onto it, and then you get the too many cooks problem. And that's what's happening with streaming and content creation right now, is too many cooks. There are too many people trying to stream on Twitch, or too many people trying to make gaming content or just YouTube videos in general. There are a billion, trillion, patillion, trillion, billion people on TikTok trying to make TikTok work for them. It's just too many cooks. And I knew it was an issue from the very moment I started doing this, but I kept doing it anyway. And I was in denial about it for like the first 2 or 3 years. I was like, yeah, it's too many content creators. I'm never going to make it anywhere, but I'm going to keep trying just in case. And I think by year 5, I'd given up completely on any kind of growth whatsoever. And I think I'd kind of settled in and gotten real complacent with my streaming stuff. And even going in, we're in year 7 now, and I'm still very complacent. I'm not taking risks. I'm not doing paid promotions or anything like that. I'm just here doing my thing. For the most part, it makes me happy. But any time that I get new people in chat, I still get a little nervous. I think we're only going to get some sea bass today. I waited on you to come back for a while, but then I had to keep talking or I'd forget what I was going to say. I did wait, though. That's a pretty big shadow. Maybe I can get the angle right. No, you're fine. It's usually when I get like 2 or 3 new people all at once. That's more when that's more when it happens. One person new at a time doesn't really bother me. Come on. Damn it. Eh. No, I waited for you to come back. But then I started to forget what we were talking about, so I went ahead and just finished my thought. Because my memory is shite. Basically, I could sum up what I said. I basically said that it's too many cooks. You know, that's the term you use. It happened in society a handful of times. The first time was when it became the norm for society, for everybody in society to learn how to read and write. Back in the day, not even that long ago, just a few hundred years ago, the majority of people couldn't read or write. It was just reserved for like political figures, the people of the church, higher ups, your quote unquote betters in the class system, in the feudal system. But then we evolved beyond that. And then all of a sudden, since everybody could read or write, everybody thought they were an author. And then it happened again when cameras were invented. Everybody thought they were a photographer. Then it happened again many times in the 20th century. The advent of television, the advent of, moving pictures, silver screen, cassette tapes, CDs, camcorders in the 80s and 90s. Every time there's something new that hits the market, new technology or something, everybody jumps on board and thinks they're a pro at it, and it's just too many cooks. The term for terrible movies shot on VHS is shot on shitio. And I think that might be I think that's probably the most prolific or most populated the scenario ever was, because like everybody's made a mixtape at some point. Everybody's recorded, or at least people my age, we all recorded off the radio to cassette tapes. We made mixtapes. It's just what you did. And then in the 90s, we did mix CDs. We'd rip music off the internet and make mix CDs. But then, of course, all that changed. Everything became digital and everything turned to streaming services. And then people don't do that anymore. But now you have the internet. So you have YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and all that jazz. And everybody thinks they're a content creator. It's history recycling, and it's cyclical. It repeats itself. So you have too many cooks. You have too many streamers, too many YouTubers, too many TikTokers. Everybody thinks they're going to make it big. And got to Hollywood and make it big. Like I said earlier, you're more likely to get struck by lightning or something than you are to be a popular content creator. You just sorted out your 3DS XL, got Animal Crossing. Oh, you are in for a treat. Animal Crossing is timeless. I mean, we're playing it. It is a good one. I miss having my 3DS, my physical 3DS. I wish I'd kept mine. Of course, I wore my original 3DS out. I went through like several 3DSs because I would just play them so much and wear them out. I did that with my Switch as well. I played my Switch so much that I wore it out and had to buy a new one. Which sucks, because if it had just held on for a little bit longer, it crapped out like a year or two before the Switch 2 got here. If it could have held on just a little bit longer. Oh, well, I mean, that's a simple mistake. Especially if you haven't used it in a while. That's an easy mistake to make. I've done dumber stuff today. Ooh, big shadow. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Silicant, silicant, silicant. Ah, I got nervous and reeled it in too fast. I like the restrained music that plays when it's raining. It's nice. Wow, we are just getting so many beetles tonight. Well, the beetles are worth a ton of money, so I'm not complaining. I think I played with the 3D on quite a bit for the first year or two of the 3DS. And then it got to the point where I just, you know, sometimes I'd find it annoying that I'd have to sit a certain way so the screen wouldn't look weird, and I just turned it off, and I never turned it back on after that. Unless I was showing somebody the 3DS. Especially during, like, if we were playing something intense, like during intense bouts of Smash Brothers, or those long play sessions where my friends and I would sit for hours and hours and play Monster Hunter. There were moments like that we just turned the 3D off, and I think I was the only one who actually used the 3D function. Most of my other friends just didn't really care about it that much. They thought it was neat, but like most people, they thought it was a gimmick and didn't use it. I liked it. I'm surprised they didn't keep it as standard, because they could have easily done that with the Switch. It's real simple technology. It's not that hard. I mean, when the 3DS first came out, it was mind-blowing, yeah, but like now they could have done it. I also saw that people are complaining about the Switch 2's screen. I'm fine with it. I would have liked an OLED screen, but it's alright. I'll live. See, you used the 3D as well. I like the 3D. Sometimes a Nintendo gimmick fails, and sometimes it hits just right. Motion controls, I don't like. I hate them. I'm a fatty. I don't want to get up and dance around and shake a Wii remote. But I did like the 3D. On. You turd. Yeah, that's true too. Since the technology was a little older at that point, they could have actually improved on what they did with the 3DS. Nintendo has a bad habit of abandoning ideas and gimmicks. I think that might be what agitates me the most. Well, their litigious nature is what bothers me the most. But second to that, I think they'll introduce something really fun and then just you'll never see it again. And then they keep the stuff nobody cares about. I think amiibos have long since run their course. Miis have long since run their course. We don't need that stuff anymore. You can let that go. That beetle may have been new, so I'm gonna hang on to it. See if we can donate it. I mean, I don't mind the Miis, but yeah, I put a glass protector on my Switch too immediately. Immediately. Of course, it's pointless to use the thing in handheld mode because the battery lasts a damn hour. I had 100% charge the other night and it died in just over an hour of playing Mario Kart. I've been telling people this too. If you aren't a streamer and you don't just have to have a Switch 2 to do your stuff, wait. There's not any games out for it right now that are that big a deal. It's not going to kill you to wait. I highly recommend waiting until a new model comes out that has better battery life. You know how Nintendo works. They're going to make 18 models of the thing over the next 8 years. They've done it with everything they've ever made. Yeah. Because, like, I'm not having that much fun with the new Mario Kart. I'll be honest with you. I still think that Mario Kart World pales in comparison to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I'm going to die on that hill. Because I have had the world's fucking hardest time trying to get gold, all 3 gold stars in the Grand Prix and in the knockout tournaments. It's infuriating. Like, my blood pressure has gone through the roof trying to clear that game and beat it. The rubber band AI is too aggressive. The general AI of all the players in general is too aggressive. I find myself grinding the walls more often than not if I'm not doing precision drifting. Like if I'm just casually playing, like sometimes I'll sit on the couch and I'll have a YouTube video or somebody's Twitch stream playing in my ear while playing Mario Kart. Sometimes I'll even be laying there like this, just one hand, you know, not necessarily worrying about being in first place. I'm still just trying to unlock some of the characters. But I find that if I'm not sitting there clicking that fucking shoulder button and drifting like a king, I'm eating the wall. And that doesn't happen in other Mario Kart games. It happens in F-Zero, but not Mario Kart. So I don't like it. I'm not sold on Mario Kart World. I might just keep playing 8 Deluxe. Now, if they do patches in the future that address the issues I've mentioned today, I might kind of change my opinion, but I also feel like they lied to us because before Mario Kart came out, they said, ooh, it's not going to be like other Mario Karts. We're going to change it up. You're going to do a race and then you're going to drive from one track to another. Bald-faced lies. Bald-faced lies. That is not how that game works. They tricked me. And I'll be honest, I'm not just saying that because I'm salty. I had a moment before the Switch 2 came out where I was like, this fucking thing costs $600. I could buy a really cheap, generic, like modern computer. Hell, I could put a down payment on one, put one on credit. I could do a new PC instead of a Switch 2. That would really help my streaming stuff. But then they kept making Mario Kart World look so goddamn good. And then when I got my hands on it, I was so disappointed. And I'm not liking what I'm seeing with Pokemon Legends ZA either. I don't like the fact that you can ambush other trainers and their Pokemon. That's not how Pokemon works. That goes against everything the Pokemon series has ever been about. And then, of course, my main Nintendo series, Metroid. Still have no earthly idea when Metroid Prime 4 is coming. They won't give us a release date. They won't even tell us what quarter of the year the game's coming out in. I have no earthly idea. I trust Retro Studio to get it right, but I don't really trust Nintendo to do the right thing. So yeah, I could have bought a Steam Deck. You know how awesome Steam Decks are? Although, with the Steam Deck, I don't really need one, you know? I don't. Steam Deck to me is a luxury. I need a PC more than I need a Steam Deck, but I'm not saying I don't like ZA, but I'm not liking it every time I see new footage of it. It's kind of thinking it might not be that great. I'm gonna get it because I need to finish my living decks. Like, I don't have the fucking elemental monkeys from Black and White yet. Yeah. But see, that's what I did. My computer at the moment is a hand-me-down I got from my buddy, and I think it's a pre-built he bought back in 2017. So my machine is ancient in computer terms, but I bought one of the GeForce cards. The I forgot the exact number. It's one of the 4000s. Of course, my friend was like, "Yeah, your video card will be future proof, man. Get you a 40s whatever 100." I bought it. Wasn't cheap, but I bought it. Months later, announcing the 500 series, 5000 something series, and I was like, God damn it. But at least I got a decent video card. You know, was recently top of the line. Doesn't make my RAM and processor less sucky, but at least I got a decent video card. God damn it. The GeForce Now is a cloud game system. I gotta imagine everything's slowly gonna become cloud-based. Shark! Nobody breathe. We're not gonna catch it, but I gotta try. Whoa. Yeah, I'm not like a media purist. I don't necessarily need to have a physical copy in my hand. As a matter of fact, 99.9% of my Switch titles are digital. I'm not, you know, my Steam library is full of games that I bought over the years that are digital. So I don't mind digital games. What I don't like is that level of cloud gaming where I can't play my game unless I connect to the cloud. Like, if I need a constant internet connection or an internet connection even at all to play my game, I'm out. And I gotta say, I was really worried the Switch 2 was knocking on that door. I see that Nintendo's being sued over their ability to brick your system at will. I don't remember much. I remember seeing the headline for it and glancing at the article. I want to say it may have been somewhere in Germany, but oh God, I wish I'd read that further. I hate talking about stuff I don't know what I'm talking about, you know. But I did see somebody's trying to sue them, and good, they should. Nintendo's got absolutely no fucking right to brick your system like that. And honestly, if that becomes the norm, where these companies can just brick your system because they don't like what you're doing, I'm just gonna stop buying them. Fucking hell. You know, and emulation has gotten so damn good. And it doesn't take that long for people to rip these games and get them up on the internet. And as long as you got your VPN and you keep your nose clean and you know what you're doing, you'll be good. And everybody's like, but it's illegal, it's illegal, it's illegal. I tell you what ought to be illegal is screwing us the fuck over the way they do. Not going to go into a whole fucking rant about it, but you know what I mean. These companies have no cap. There's like no level cap to their greed and their shenanigans. They can kind of do whatever they want and get away with it. When they get caught, they apologize. Do an apology tour on social media. Learn how to do it next time and not get caught. I don't think we're going to find the fish we're looking for. Sad. I'm so sad. Was it Brazil? Brazil's consumer rights watchdog. Good. Somebody needs to keep them on their toes. And of course, even if they set precedent in Brazil, that doesn't set precedent for other countries, unfortunately. It would just be in Brazil. It'd be nice if somebody did it in a market that like really hits their pockets. There's nothing against Brazil. I love Brazil. It's just that they're not Nintendo's like main market. That's not where they make. I don't even think they make a lot. I don't know how much money they make in Brazil, but it doesn't compare to what they make here and Europe and Asian territories. But not the goddamn ads. Y'all got to get some ad blockers. Yeah, I said at Twitch, what you gonna do? Yeah. Ukulele apology tour. Is it just me? Or did it make you guys hate the content creator even more after their apology than it was when they just were guilty of the thing they did? I hated them more after the apology video because I knew they were lying through their teeth. Welcome back. We got to figure out an ad blocker that works on Twitch. You know, it's funny. YouTube YouTube thought they were being smooth. They made it part of their terms of service that you can't use ad blockers. Everybody found a way around it and are still using them. Wink. I use them on Twitch too. I haven't seen an ad on Twitch in a long time. Of course, I don't really watch people live. I don't watch their VODs, so my Twitch ad blocker might only work for VODs. As a matter of fact, I only watch one streamer on Twitch now at this point, and she plays terrible music while she streams, but it doesn't go to her VOD, so I just wait and watch her VODs the next day. Just like. She's in her mid-20s. She's young. There's a lot of hip hop and that tinny, Skrillexy, just auto-tune bullshit that I can't. I can't. Have I talked about JB yet? A little bit. 2 a.m. here. Ooh. Well, it's 8:39 p.m. for me. I'm trying not to stay up till 2. It's hard. Yeah, I went and I saw the movie. It was great. Honestly, Jurassic World Rebirth is what the last three Jurassic World movies should have been. I'm never going to be able to unsee them now the way that I see them now. Like, so in my eyes, Jurassic Park, The Lost World Jurassic Park, and Jurassic Park 3 are all three great, phenomenal films. Obviously, I get it. Some people don't care for sequels, and everybody has their opinions on number 2 and number 3. I get it. I love them all. Jurassic World, I think it's okay, but it has a lot of screaming problems, like screamingly loud problems. And each Jurassic World movie got worse as they went. Now, I really like Fallen Kingdom. I got a soft place in my heart for Fallen Kingdom. I know a lot of people don't like it. I did. Dominion, can I just get away with saying no comment and let's just leave it at that? Because I really don't want to get into Dominion. Motherfucker. But, oh, I didn't even see it was you who was asking me that. I thought it was Oi Frog. You both have green, and I looked at green. I didn't bother reading your names. It's raining, and I'm trying to catch Silicanth. Yeah, I'm saving my in-depth Jurassic Park talks until I'm actually doing a video that's Jurassic. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but any in-depth stuff I'm saving for its own video. Right after I got out of the movie, I immediately sat in the car and talked about it a little bit, like recorded a short little video clip. That'll go in the vlogs, but I need you to take your phone and I need you to like record maybe 5 to 10 seconds of the popcorn bucket. You know, just like rotate around it, show it in all angles, but it needs to be video, and I need you to send that to me tonight or tomorrow because I need that vlog to go out like now. Shark. God damn. Why? Why is this game so broken? I'm seriously going to have to Google why I can't catch the shark. I don't have this problem in any other Animal Crossing. It's only fucking New Leaf that does this. It doesn't need to be fancy. Just take your phone, point it at the damn thing, rotate it around it, look down in it, look up on it close, send me the video. Takes 2 seconds. Or don't. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what I need done. If I have to wait, I have to wait. Yeah, Tyler got me the popcorn bucket. God damn it. All right, I gotta do something about this. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna look it up right now. Simulator is gonna stutter while I open my web browser, but I can't take this anymore. It's driving me fucking crazy. I gotta know if anybody else is having this issue. Oh, fucking hell. I forgot it's July 4th this week. People are going to be doing annoying bullshit with fireworks. Let's see. Anytime you Google something, Google takes you to Reddit, and Reddit already says everything I already know. Try using sound. Try not looking at it. Try turning your head and looking away. Try hitting it before they bite it. Try hitting it a second after they bite it. I've already tried everything logical that my brain thought of. Google ain't helping me. It never does. Trying to focus on the visual cues as much as the audio. Hit the A button the moment you hear the splash. Yeah, I do that. It doesn't work. Well, unfortunately, I'm playing this game on emulator and I don't have the I don't have a rumble. My controller doesn't rumble for it. All right, well, people on GameFAQs are just saying play by sound. Yeah, I don't remember the sharks being this. They're not this fussy in New Horizons on the Switch. I don't know why they're this damn fussy and new. I don't remember this on the 3DS. I don't remember them being. I've always fished by sound more than visuals. But it looks like if you Google this, a lot of people have had this same issue. And I don't understand why. Yeah, Independence Day here in the States is July 4th. And Americans like to celebrate the independence of their country by blowing up a large part of it. It scares all the animals, especially the dogs, and it's very annoying for a week or two. Because people won't just buy the fireworks and shoot them on the 4th like a normal person. Hoodlums will buy them, and they'll walk around the neighborhood shooting bottle rockets into other people's yards and properties because they have no home training whatsoever. Can I come live with you in the UK? I hate it here. I hate this fucking country. Yeah, that's a Simpsons quote. I think. I definitely got it from TV. If it wasn't Simpsons, it was one of those cartoons. I think it was something Apu said, if I'm not mistaken. Celebrate the birth of your nation or the independence or something like that by blowing up a small part of it. Don't be a sea bass. Don't be a sea bass! Son of a bitch. Your nation by blowing up a small part of it. Okay, there you go. You got it though. Simpsons. Somebody's gonna come along now. Oh my god. He did Apu's voice. He did an Indian voice. Oh, fuck off. They took Apu out of The Simpsons. Not that I liked Apu. I kind of found Apu to be one of the more annoying characters. But still, he was a staple of the series. No. No. I'll be honest with you. It wasn't until that happened that I reached my point where that, like, oh, the stream froze a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a leftist. I'm a progressive, liberal, whatever you want to call it. So don't get me wrong at the end of the day. I don't use buzzwords like woke or any of that bullshit. But I am a human being with my own thoughts and opinions. And while I'm not necessarily a fan of quote-unquote cultural appropriation, I do think that some of that can be a little on the silly side. Things like Apu in The Simpsons. Yes, it's an outdated stereotype. I kind of think The Simpsons needs to just go at this point, and not because they've done anything wrong. It's just that they've been on the air for nearly 40 years. And anything from The Simpsons in its heyday will no longer be culturally relevant. It's time to retire that show and let it go. And it's time for new shows to come in, new characters, new settings, new scenarios that won't have those quote unquote culturally inappropriate characters. You know, bring in a new show with new characters and just start something anew. And it started rubbing me the wrong way when South Park kind of touched on that a little bit. They got rid of Mr. Hanky altogether. Of course, South Park is one of those shows where I'm going to champion it no matter what they do. Very few times have I ever looked at Matt and Trey sideways and said, I don't like what you did there. I don't think I've ever done that in South Park, if I'm being completely honest. And I love The Simpsons to death. Huge Simpsons fan. I've watched every episode a million times. The same for South Park, Futurama, all those shows. But see, that's the thing. That's the thing Seth MacFarlane was bitching about. Everybody said that all these other shows are changing their casts. So on The Simpsons, now anytime that you have a black character or African American character, they are voiced by a real African American IRL. They've done that with all the shows now to make them more in line with today's values. Family Guy did not. They kept the white voice actor for Cleveland and gave everybody the middle finger. Now, is it bad optics for 2025? Yeah. Did I think it was funny? Yeah. I'd have done the same damn thing. Once you establish a character and a voice, I don't know, man. Family Guy is another show that needs to retire. Retire all those shows. Retire South Park. Retire Family Guy. Retire The Simpsons. Retire Futurama. No show should ever go past 7 seasons. We'll let 7. Remember Community had the whole 6 seasons in a movie thing? That was great. That was great that they came up with that, even though they lasted 3 before getting canceled, then coming back and getting canceled a second time, then going over to Yahoo streaming. They thought that was going to work for them, and that didn't work out. And now they made it to 6 seasons, but they still trying to squeeze in that movie, but they can't get the movie made because Donald Glover had a music career that he felt was more important than his movie career, TV show career. And everybody thought it was Joel McHale that was the problem with scheduling, but it actually turned out to be Donald Glover instead. But then he said he was going to retire the Childish Gambino character, but never actually got around to it. And we're still just in limbo, not getting our Community movie. That's the longest question I've ever asked in my life. I might know way more about TV and movies than I do about video games, if you can't tell. One, I like more. Video games are actually not my favorite media, but I can't make YouTube videos or stream anything to do with television or movies because it's copyrighted. But yeah, I'm still waiting on that Community movie. Yeah, I never got around to watching Orville. I hear it's decent. I tried watching some of the space shows that they had on post. Like I went back a few years ago and I watched all of the Star Trek shows. I watched Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and then I tried watching Enterprise and I couldn't get into it. Then I tried watching Brave New Worlds and I couldn't get into it. And I thought, I'm just going to give up watching Star Trek. Then I watched the whole first season of Picard and thought I was going to throw up. I thought it was okay-ish, but it had so many glaring, screaming problems that it just couldn't be saved. And then season 2, they tried to pretend like season 1 didn't happen, and I was mad. But then I saw Seth MacFarlane was doing his own like Star Trek kind of knockoff show, and about the same time that they came out with Below Decks, and I never got around to watching Below Decks or whatever it's called. But I did want to check out Orville. I just didn't get around to it. I could do movie review videos, but I just don't have the brain for it. Like, I don't know what I would say. Like, I'm not well-spoken enough to really... I don't know if I could articulate my thoughts in a way that would be entertaining. as far as like a review thing. Also, I don't like reviews. I don't like review channels and movie reviewers. I find them highly annoying. I used to like watching the Cinema Snob back in the day until the Chase the Channel thing came out. We all learned that he was Brad himself wasn't a monster, but he aligned himself with Captain fucking Dumbass, nostalgia critic that I know. Even before we knew he was a piece of shit, I didn't like his channel anyway. I thought he was highly annoying as fuck. That whole era of YouTube is not my comedy. I hated all YouTubers from that era where they did their own little personal skits like that. Didn't like it. The angry video game nerd, all that whole era of YouTube, not my thing, not my bag. Did not like it. But I switched over and I found Red Letter Media, and I've been a hardcore fan of theirs ever since. Red Letter Media guys I like. Their opinions I trust. They're just slobby, middle-aged men like me, you know? They don't try to be any more pretentious. They don't try to act like their opinion is top tier. They feel genuine. And who knows? Behind the scenes, they might be huge pieces of shit IRL. I don't know. I'm not there. But watching their videos, I do like them. I like watching Red Letter Media, but yeah, I do, don't I? My God, we've caught so many sea bass. Yeah, it's how do I explain it without sounding stupid? I don't think I can. I think I might hate more stuff in the world than I like. I'm that kind of person. I do find the majority of stuff annoying, stupid, beneath me. I'm that asshole. But I've been trying to reel it back the last few years, and I've been trying to do better with it. You know, it's just, you get me tired and you get me talking. It's the same as when people get drunk and you get them talking, you know, and their true feelings come out. It tends to happen when I get to talking a lot on a stream. I'll get to I'll just start going. I'll just be I think a lot of that too is because I don't socialize a lot. So when I do get to talking, I just don't shut up. You gotta keep in mind, I don't have any friends. I got like 2, maybe 3 friends max, and I don't even talk to them every day. And I don't go out into the world and work a 9-to-5 job where I go into an office in a cubicle and talk to people all day and have to put on airs. There are some days where I might not speak to another human being at all. So when I do kind of get to talking, it just kind of bleh. I think a lot of that too might have to do with age. The older you get, and this happens to everybody. I'm not a unique little snowflake. This does happen to everybody. This is why you always wonder why old people are so cranky and mean. Humans live too long. Things in society change at a rapid pace, more now than ever. It used to be that you made small progressive changes over the course of a century or two at a time. But sometime in the early 20th century, around, I'd say not even then, I'd say from the Industrial Revolution forward, humanity has been making giant jumps forward. And we keep making so many jumps forward that we can't even cycle through one generation of humans now without making a new big thing, whether it be technology or whatever. So people are we get old and we get set in our ways. So eventually music becomes stupid. TV becomes stupid. Books become stupid. You start to pine for the days of your youth, the good old days, as it were. The older you get, the more cynical you become, because the more bullshit that you've had to put up with. It's very easy when you're young to love everything and have rose-colored glasses and be very optimistic. But after a couple of decades of the world kind of butt fucking you into submission, you kind of become a jaded asshole. And it takes work. It takes a lot of work the older you get to not be a bitchy monster. And trust me, that's one of the reasons I don't have any friends. If you think I hate a lot of stuff now, trust. I used to be so fucking intolerable. There were moments where I couldn't tolerate myself. But, oh yeah, we both way older than Google. I don't remember what year Google was, but it had to be the 90s. But yeah, you're right to point that out. And I appreciate you pointing that out too, because it'll help keep me in check. I'll remember that you said that now for days, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I guess I am starting to hate everything again. It's kind of like a check yourself that it's a good thing. But, damn no. But no, I used to love all those shows, and I just think they've been on the air for too long. I think that they need to go. It's let it go, man. Let them shows go. Hey, we did make it to 9 p.m. You're right. I guess that means the stores probably closed on us. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm trying not to be a ragey, hate-filled monster, but to be fair, the world don't make it easy. No game audio. I think I hear the game. It's just that when you're by the water, it lowers the music, and when it's raining, it also lowers the music. So it's see, I can turn it up a little bit. Let's turn it up to about 50. Okay, now you guys should be able to hear it a little better. Good night, everybody. If you're at all interested in the phenomenon that I'm talking about, again, going back to since we were talking about these shows earlier, South Park had a wonderful story arc that dealt with that called You're Getting Older. It was Stan's birthday, and Kyle gave him a CD with tween music, something that the kiddies listen to. And his mom heard it and thought it just sounded like shit. And he was upset that his mom took his CD away. And Randy, his dad, listens to it, and he hears literal fart sounds in the music. It's hilarious. But then Stan starts to hear it. And he goes to the doctor and tells the doctor he hears shit farting toilet sounds when he listens to the music. And the doctor tells him, well, you're getting older. It's called being a cynical asshole. Everything's going to start to seem shitty now. The music, the food you eat, the places you go, the people you know, everything in reality is going to become shitty. And I had a fucking breakdown when that episode came out. It wasn't just me people had to go check on Matt and Trey. I remember they went on one of those late night talk shows and the host was like, I think it was Conan. It might have been Conan O'Brien. And I remember, or if it wasn't Conan, it wasn't Conan O'Brien. It was one of the late night talk show guys that would also be on Comedy Central, like Stephen Colbert or the other guy. They went on one of those shows and they were like, after that episode aired, we thought about coming over there to check on you guys because it was like the most fucked up We're Not Okay episode of South Park that Matt and Trey had ever done. And it came out at a time in my life where I was going through it too. And I didn't have access to a therapist. I didn't have access to getting any help that I needed. Even, you know, my friends seemed to not give a shit. They were used to me being that way. They didn't really notice that much of a difference. Fucking Tyler here was going through it. He had his own fuck shit to deal with, so nobody was in the position to help me. I spiraled hard. But, yeah. If you ever want to know why I am the way I am, you watch that episode of South Park. It's called You're Getting Older. I don't remember what season it's in, and that'll kind of help explain why you get my kind of personality type, you know. Because when I was a kid, I wasn't like that. You know, when I was a kid, I was very easy to please. I had my cartoon, I had my toys, I had snacks. Atypical kid, you know. When you hit puberty and you get into your teens, everything starts to turn, and you know, you start realizing everybody's an asshole, and it doesn't happen to everybody, but some people can kind of remain decent, good people, but it didn't work out that way for me at all. But squid. Ooh, speaking of squid, I did watch all of season 3 of Squid Game. It was good. I liked it. After that cliffhanger in season 2 and how that ended, I was really worried about how they were going to wrap it up. I'm very pleased with how season 3 turned out. It was good. Now I can recommend the whole trilogy of seasons to everybody and say it's worth your time. Just make sure that if you're going to watch Squid Game, watch it subtitled. Don't watch the English dub. It's garbage. It's unwatchable. Alright. Well, we've been live now for about an hour and a half, over an hour and a half at this point. I don't think we are going to find our silicant today, folks. So we might just wrap things up here. I don't know if Tyler's still in chat, but he and I are gonna, I think we're gonna play some Battletoads tomorrow. Unless he has changed his plans. Pray that he does not change them again. Jaded bedtime. That's true. No more putting it off. You son of a bitch. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to stream Friday. I got a family thing to go to Friday. I'm going to be out of town. We're going to see my grandmother. My dad says she's not doing too well, so we gotta go, you know, before that opportunity closes. Well, I glanced at chat and just saw the word Friday. I didn't read your whole sentence. Y'all been going to that Mexican restaurant a lot. I'm jealous. I want to go to a Mexican restaurant. Mexican food is fucking great. Some Mexican food. I've been really hooked on some Mexican pizzas lately. Like our Walmart has some of the, you go to the frozen section. I don't know what brand it is. I don't remember what brand, but it just says Mexican pizza, and oh my god, it's so mouth-wateringly good. You get a chance, try it out. But all right, we did try though. I tried, guys. It's been raining for the majority of our episode, and we've talked about a lot of different stuff. We've been hanging out. I think I've seen more people in chat tonight than I've seen in a long time. Like I said, this is honestly my preferred time to stream. It's just that for whatever reason, Spectrum always had issues this time of day. And I've never been able to really stream later than like 5 or 6 p.m. without the internet just crapping out. But if the internet holds and we can stream this late, we might start trying to stream later. I don't know. Don't hold me to that. We will play around with it and see. But yeah, I mean, we can raid anybody. I don't think I've ever raided before. I don't even know how to do it. Maybe I have and just don't remember. Yeah, I gotta figure out whether we want to push subs on Twitch or whether we want to continue to push the Patreon, because the subbing gets you ad-free on Twitch, but it doesn't get you the perks that are available on Patreon. I really don't know which one to... I always feel like a huge piece of shit asking anybody to spend any money, because I don't feel like I make content that's worth money, but I'm not good at e-begging. I want my silicate. Hail. I wouldn't do both. That's asking too much. That's greedy. I do need to check my, I need to make sure my ad stuff is turned off. I think I have it turned all the way down, but Twitch is still going to run ads regardless. Bastards. Let's... Do we have anything to donate? No. Let's just sell the rest of this stuff. Whoa! I've been doing all this talking. I hadn't realized just how much money we have. Give me back my family. But anyway, I think I'm going to sell this stuff and head off. Wild blue yonder. Well, it depends. For me, the breaking point with Animal Crossing is when I finish the fish and the bugs and the fossils. After that, there's nothing really left. There's some charm to the music and the graphics for me. There's some charm in interacting with the villagers, but after you've played the game for a solid year, you've cycled through the villagers enough to know what they're gonna say and their activities that they're gonna want to do. And yeah, and I've never really cared a whole lot about the, you know, furnishing my home and the interior design stuff. That stuff just doesn't appeal to me the way it does to a lot of other people. So each new Animal Crossing, for me, I can get maybe 12 months to 24 out of it before I've reached my limit with that particular title, and then I need to move on to the next installment. But they come out so far apart that, you know, it kind of keeps it fresh for me. But I am starting to feel the overall fatigue for the whole series, and that was the struggle I had trying to decide whether I wanted to play Wild World, New Leaf, or City Folk. City Folk's a son of a bitch to play because I don't have a physical Wii anymore to play it. I'd have to emulate it. Then the motion control stuff is a son of a bitch. The DS version is fun, but this just looked nicer to do. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping they add the GameCube version to the Switch Online, and then I'll play the bejesus out of that. But we have a lot of money now, so when we come back in next time, we'll be able to do stuff. Alright, I'm gonna go find something to eat and stuff my fat face. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for a longer than usual stream of Animal Crossing. I really got to jabber jawing and went on forever. Alright, see you folks.